opinion don't matter. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, beautiful, wonderful day. Hopefully, all is well with you. And that's real talk. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Today's video. Welfare entitlement. For people that think they're entitled to welfare, government assistance, SNAP, all that good stuff. Welcome to the OG Network. Before I get into some of the other stuff, do me a favor, y'all. Number one, hit the like button. Number two, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Number three, please check out Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare Store. Number four, we have I have a show coming up later on. It's called Philly Talk. Please come back later on if you subscribe to the channel. Come back later on and check out me and Ant Like the Bug will be live, and we'll be talking about Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, different people, Philadelphia, experiences in Philadelphia, that type of talk. Come back in at 6:30. It's already scheduled. If you go look at the schedule and click the notification on the schedule, you'll get notified when we decide to go live with it. But entitled to welfare. So yeah, I'm watching videos and I see them popping up here and there on social media. People talking about I'm gonna go into Walmart and I'm gonna steal, or I'm gonna go take this and take that. Hey, just for real, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit the like button. You're gonna go to Walmart, you're just gonna take it. See, my thing is this. When you get to the point and you're willing to make a video, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. But if you go make a video talking about what you're gonna do when you get to Walmart, stealing wise, and then you decide after you're gonna make this video, you're gonna bring help and go to Walmart to help you steal. And if somebody try to check you for stealing, you got somebody to check them. See, this is where the level of entitlement comes in. Somewhere along the line, you thought you supposed to get welfare and you're entitled to it. So the question is, for people like that, what makes you feel like you're entitled to it? See, this is where you get it mixed up at. You're not entitled to anything but to get up, go to work, and take care of the choices that you made. You're supposed to get up and take care of your own responsibility. No one else should have to pay for what you chose to do with your life but you. The government is not responsible for your bad behavior. No, the government is not responsible for the choices that you made in life. Now, I'm not against welfare, the program itself, because there are people that run into hardship that actually need the help. And that may be a help up. But for the other people that turns this into a lifestyle and think that they're entitled to it, blows my mind. In order for someone to give you something and continuously to give you something for free, right? Someone else has to do it, keep doing it for free. Because someone's eating the cost of whatever it is that you're getting. If someone's giving you something for free, it's costing someone else money to get it. Time, money, effort, all that. But you feel as though you're entitled to it. Make that make sense. And my thing is this, and if they stupid enough to go to a Walmart or any store for that matter, and decide to steal because you just feel as though you're entitled to food stamps, this is where they get it wrong at. They're going to take away my food stamps. If it was yours, they wouldn't be able to take it. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Really, really do. If it was yours, if those food stamps was yours, they wouldn't be able to take it. See how that works? And I heard too. I seen videos of them talking about they was going to take other people's groceries. All right. Now you understand something. You steal something from the wrong person. That comes with something too. You might think it's okay to go steal it, but that's going to come with something too. Everybody ain't going to just let you take their stuff and don't bring something back with that. See, this is where, but see, again, when you have gotten your mentality to the point where you are willing to go take something that you didn't earn, that you didn't work for, because welfare has made you so lazy. Now, here's the crazy part. You're willing to make effort to go out and steal it. You're willing to make effort to go out and try to take it from somebody else, but you're not willing to put in the very same effort to actually go to work. Because either one, you got to put effort in. One's going to send you to jail. One's going to financially benefit you. But instead of get up and going to work and earn it for yourself, you willing to get up and go to a store and try to take it from the store or take it from, how about go there and fill out an application? If you're going to Walmart, how about go there and fill out an application? They might be hired. There might be a job there for you. And yes, Trump is the best. In my opinion, the best president we've ever had in my lifetime. By far. But again, you feel as though you're entitled. If you got that much strength to get up and go to Walmart and try to steal and take, how about go fill out an application? How about look for a job? If you got that much hate, how about, yes, it is. You mean behind me? Yeah, it's a gun. God bless y'all. Welcome, man. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Again, if you're willing to go try to take it, because welfare makes them lazy, and not everybody. My thing is this. Most people that was on welfare, and I know this would be so when I was growing up, is that there was a level of shame that came with being on welfare. Most people did not want to be on welfare. This is where it got bad. When I was growing up, people that was on welfare, a lot of times they'd be like, oh man, I don't want to be on welfare. It had a level of shame to it where you just didn't want to be there. And therefore you wanted to do everything you can do to get off of welfare to better your life so that you have more control over your life. But because people allowed, in mostly Democratic ran places, allowed this to fester so deep into their community that it made more people lazy than not. And they don't even want to get off of it. I've known people that was on welfare at one point and did everything they can do to get out of it. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. I've known people that was on welfare at one point or another in their lifetime and did everything they can do and get out of it so they didn't be on it no more. Why? Because that was not something that you could be proud of. But sometimes you got to humble yourself and you got to understand the circumstances that you're in and use what you got to get out of the situation. So I'm not all against, I'm not totally against welfare, but I don't understand. I don't like the way it's being done. And the same thing with like the Section 8 programs and stuff like that. I feel like it's a big joke. And all it did was drain the system and take it away from hardworking citizens and taking it and giving it to poor people who ain't going to get up and do nothing, produce anything or do anything like that. I appreciate you, dead man. Appreciate it very, very much. Appreciate it. And this is where it goes at. One thing I always say is you don't need government. When government comes around, that's where the problem starts. They make things worse. They make things more expensive. People don't realize how much government makes things more expensive. When they start getting involved and they start regulating and they start putting all of these obstacles in the way, it drives up the cost of things. And that's where the problem lies. That's why I personally want minimized government. I want government out of most of the stuff that they keep getting their hands into. That's why things are so expensive, because of government. Real talk, because of government. I know people don't understand that, but that's what it's from. Mostly because of government. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And how y'all... You went to jail for 6 months without any reason? Well, that sucks. That's horrible. I don't think anybody should be sitting up in jail, especially if they're innocent and they ain't do nothing. Trump all day long. Yeah, there's guns behind me. Mr. X, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. But yes, there are firearms behind me. Robin Your Hood, I like the name. I like Robin Hood platform too. Real talk. I look like the cat from Red Dwarf. I don't know who that is, but it just sounds funny. But yeah, this is why I disagree with when I hear people talking about, oh, you know, feel as though they're entitled to something. Well, my thing is this: if the officer lost his job and you receive nothing, I would not stop fighting for it. I'll keep fighting. Because if you was done wrongly, man, I would keep fighting until the Supreme, and I would fight my way and sue the officer. Real talk, sue the officer. Eight 48. God bless you. Welcome in. How you doing? God bless you. Thanks for coming in. How you doing? No, you don't. You really don't. You don't do as good. What is my opinion? Donald, I know you think that I spend my 24 hours of my day worrying about every little thing, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I really have no idea what you're talking about. Again, I think some of y'all spend more time worrying about every little thing that Trump and them doing, looking for a reason to complain, looking for a reason to this, a reason for that. I don't have an opinion on it because I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's the real talk. I don't spend 24/7 worrying about every little thing as far as the Trump administration. When I got time, I dig into it. If I see something that looks off, something I'm not happy with, then I look into it. But until I see where it might personally affect me or where I think something is wrong or where I think is right, I more so look for what's working well. I'm not a person that's looking for something to complain about. But if I get a chance to, Donald, you mentioned something else before, Donald, that I meant to look into and I didn't write it down, but I wanted to get back to it at some point or another. Top to bottom, hair and skincare. God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit the like button. If anybody's on this live, please check out top to bottom hair and skincare products. I use their products. I use it all the time. My whole house is, we got plenty of their products in my house. Love their product. Love their product. Love their product. Yes, I agree. Concealed carry should be allowed in all states, and you should not have to go to every state to go through the process of getting another concealed license in different states. It should be whatever state you in it is, and it's for every state. Now, mine in the state of Pennsylvania is honored in 34 states in the United States. So I ain't that far away, but my license to carry is honored in 34 states across the country. Appreciate you. Real talk. Appreciate you listening. And speaking of New Jersey, and a little bit of a story about New Jersey. I was at the gun show Saturday, and this is why I feel sorry for people living in New Jersey. But this is where the result of This is where the result of voting for the wrong people comes into play. We had the gun show. Another brother, cool cat, whatever. And I follow this channel. He's a car head. Of course, he's a gun head too. But he, we were just sitting there talking, and we was both looking at the same gun. All right, give me 1 second because I'm trying to read what Donald wrote down here. I'm okay, Donna. I'm gonna look more into that, but here's my point. If someone tried to prevent you from voting and you're an American citizen, you're already in violation. I don't care about your skin color. In America, if you're a legal citizen or a citizen of the United States of America, right? This is my point. If you are a citizen of the United States of America, you have the right to vote. That's it. If you're a citizen of America, you have a right to vote. If anyone tries to stop you from that, they're already in violation. Simple as that. You have every right to vote if you are a legal citizen of America. I don't care if you're black, white, or anything of that means. So if anyone tries to deny you from being able to vote, don't sit back and accept that. I don't care who it is. Don't accept it. You are a legal citizen in the United States of America. You have every right to vote. And if someone tries to stop you, that's a problem. But I don't know exactly everything about the story. I had to really go look into it, but this is just my opinion on this part. The other thing is this, and people might not believe what I'm getting ready to say, but it has happened to me. But guess who tried to deny me my right to vote? Democrats. And they were matching the same color as me. And guess what? I got the paperwork. Then prove it. Kid you not. I still have it. I happened to come across it. I was doing something. I said, wow, I forgot all about this. Tried to deny me my right to vote. And they were black, melanated skin like me, and they were Democrats. And they tried to stop me from voting. Kid you not. Kid you not. But I get what you're saying. But if you're an American citizen, born and raised in the country, you have a right to vote. But back to what I was saying about the gun show, all right, in New Jersey. Now, I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. This person in the state of New Jersey, we're at a gun show, right? And we're looking at a 12-gauge shotgun. Both of us are looking at a shotgun, right? This is how ridiculous this stuff gets. We're looking at the same gun. We know we're having general conversation. Because he lives in the state of New Jersey, he could not purchase the very same firearm that I was able to purchase because I live in the state of Pennsylvania. That's ridiculous. Now, here's the problem with that, is this. Lawmakers in New Jersey, just like I was talking about those 5 Republicans that went rogue in the state of Pennsylvania, keep trying to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms. The reason why y'all have that problem in New Jersey is because y'all allow people to convince you that y'all don't need access to the best weapons possible. The people in the state of New Jersey. Same way in a lot of, in the city, like, all right, the same thing with the city of Philadelphia, right? The city of Philadelphia is a little bit different than the state of Pennsylvania. The state of Pennsylvania, you can open carry. But in the city of Philadelphia, you can't. What's up, my brother 47, man? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Hopefully you're doing better. The team was definitely praying that you get better, bro. Glad to see you in the house. God bless you. Be safe out there as you and you're traveling, if you're out there traveling. But again, he's in the state of New Jersey. I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. Neighboring states. Because he lives in New Jersey, because of that reason, he couldn't purchase the very same firearm that I purchased. Now, don't get me wrong, I made a joke about it, but it's wrong. But this is where this is where you're being involved in politics to a certain level. voting for the right people, really listening to what they're saying before you decide to vote for them. Unfortunately, in a lot of the Democratic cities, they just vote blue and no matter who. They really don't listen to what they're saying and find out what these people are trying to do, or they let them virtually signal them into voting for them and not realize that these people are actually coming to minimize or limit your right to keep and bear arms. They don't even pay attention. That's why I won't vote for nobody say, oh, we need gun restriction because of gun violence. Kiss my behind, you don't get my vote. But what firearm? Donald said what firearm? It was a 12 gauge shotgun. Best arms. Donald, if you look, I did a video on the one that I purchased. The one that I purchased, I did a video on it, but it was a 12 gauge shotgun, clip fed, which I was looking for, was one that fired. It has a clip. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get to shoot it yet. I didn't take it to the range yet, but yeah, we should be able to own firearms with previous weed conventions. Yes, Eddie the Wiz. Eddie the Wiz. Let me explain something to you. Yes, you should. Listen, and a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but I don't give a darn. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, is what the Second Amendment says. They trying to throw all this other stuff in there. That's not what it was for. When you look at the original intent of the Second Amendment, it was for the people to have the right to bear arms, right? So my point is this. If you are a convicted felon and you paid your debt to society, that debt should be paid. It should be paid. So being the fact that I paid my debt to society, all of my rights should be restored. Even that. So, zero. I don't think government should have no say-so in that whatsoever. The right to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. Government shouldn't have nothing in that. These are the people that you voted for. They're lawmakers, right? That you voted for them to represent you, and then they turn around and minimize the equipment that you can use to defend yourself against them. That don't make sense, do it? I'm your boss. I voted you in office, and then now you're going to turn around and tell me what I can do and can't do. As it relates for me to have the best weapons possible to protect myself just in case you decide to go tyrannical or rogue or whatever you want to call it. That's why I don't make the criminal argument, oh, I need my gun to protect myself against criminals. No, that's just a byproduct. My argument is always going to be the same. It's because the Second Amendment is against government tyranny. So let's say it's convicted felon, pays their debt to society, comes out into the real world trying to live their life. Number one, they still should have the right to protect themselves from criminals. But more so, they should have the right to protect themselves from a tyrannical government. So yes, I am 100% in favor of giving convicted felons back their rights to keep and bear arms. My thing is this. Here's where everybody say, what if they was a murderer? In my opinion, murder shouldn't get out of jail. So you ain't got to worry about that. You kill somebody, recklessly kill somebody, you should spend the rest of your life in jail. So if you spend the rest of your life in jail, you pretty much don't have to worry about them getting their ass on the fire. Why? Because they still in prison. See, this is where it gets mixed up. They'll make somebody that's, okay, a drug dealer. If you sold some stuff on the street, I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not with it, but I understand people make bad choices. All right, you pay your debt to society, you get out of jail. All right, so you get out of jail, rights restored. Pay my debt to society, rights restored. If I'm a murderer and I'm a killer and I'm reckless out to kill somebody, the way you keep them from getting firearms is you keep them in jail. That way they never do it again. See how easy that is? But for some reason, these people feel sorry for a murderer and let them back out in the street. Someone else never got to live their life through fully because you took their life. And you're going to feel sorry for the one that took the life and give them a chance to go back out there and do it again. Variations in cases, I get it. But again, if you pay to society and they let them back out, you should have your rights restored, 100%. That's it. Even if you happen to be a killer, because you should not let them back out. If they not a threat to society and they let them back out in the street, then you give them back everything they supposed to have, voting rights and all. Now, some may say, "Oh, I don't agree with that." That's fine if you don't agree with it. But here's the kicker in that. Let's say that person did get out of jail. They living their life, right? They ain't bother nobody. They feel sorry for they regret what they did. They're living their best life. Government goes tyrannical, right? Government decided to go tyrannical. That person is now subject to whatever the government does because they don't have the right to defend themselves. They paid their debt to society. They still have their right to defend themselves against government tyranny. Now, here's the thing. Let's say they did get their rights back and they do have firearms. And let's say government went tyrannical and that you and that person formed a militia to protect yourself from a tyrannical government, right? Are you going to care if they're a convicted felon? No, you're not. What you're going to care about is what their intentions are at that moment. You're not going to care nothing about their history at that point. What you're going to care about, what their intentions are in that moment. That's what you're going to care about. And if y'all work together and y'all protected yourselves and y'all freedom against a tyrannical government, and he turned around and said, "Yeah, you know I'm a convicted felon," you're going to look at him like, "So? Man, we good. If it wasn't for us working together, we wouldn't be where we at right now." Now, I'm not caping for somebody that's out there murdering somebody. I'm just trying to make a point. But God bless y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. What about repeated domestic violence? Again, lock them up and keep them up. Keep them locked up. If someone's a repeated offender, keep them in jail. Don't let them out. That's it. If you don't know how to conduct yourself in the real world, then you should stay locked up. And if you keep doing it, you should stay locked up. That's where I see that at. No other reason. You should just keep them in jail. Because they're not going to learn. That's where they need to be, in jail. Not out here in real world population because they are a problem. And how many times you going to put other people's lives at risk and other people's wealth and other people's things at risk trying to feel sorry for somebody who's out there repeatedly doing it? If somebody keep repeatedly smack you in the head, what are you going to do? You going to keep letting them smack you in the head? No. Unknown opinion. I appreciate you very, very much. Real talk. Appreciate you. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, I get it. Like, unknown opinion, I get it. And I mean, I get your point. And I'm not saying that. My thing is that the right to keep and bear arms as it relates to firearms is to protect yourself against a tyrannical government. It has nothing to do with protecting yourself from criminals. That is a byproduct. But a lot of these politicians keep trying to argue you don't need all of that to protect yourself from criminals. Now, I can debate that one too, but God bless you. Welcome in. I can debate that part too, but this is where a lot of these politicians try to argue, like the dumb Joe Biden said, you don't need all of that to go hunting with, right? He said, you don't need all of them rounds to hunt with. What are you talking about? See, this is where they keep throwing this stupid stuff in there. All right, so I need all the rounds I could get if the government went tyrannical, right? Donald, actually, I'm not really a fan of the NRA. Some parts, yeah, some parts, no. There's some things I do like about the NRA, but there's some stuff I'm not really a fan of, and that's real talk. But, yeah, you're right, they do. But a lot of times they sign over their rights because they don't even realize what they're signing over. They don't realize what they're signing over. They're just trying to make it through the circumstance and the situation that they're in. And you're right, unknown opinionoid. I mean, I get it. You're right. But again, it's against protecting yourself. So let's look at some scenarios, right? You're right to keep and bear arms. They say you don't need all these rounds in your clip, right? And I know we was on the subject of welfare, but we don't always stay on subject here anyway. So it is what it is. Let's say you limit it again to, like, let's say New Jersey, where I notice a lot of people in New Jersey are limited to like 5, 6 rounds in their clips. I don't understand. Oh my God, it's crazy. Let's say you're in the state of New Jersey, right? And they only allow you to have 6 rounds in your gun. How many criminals in the state of New Jersey are going to follow that rule? Let's talk on the criminal end. How many criminals in the state of New Jersey is going to give a darn on how many rounds you have in your clip? That going to follow the rule. I get magazine. You're right. I get magazine. But even people know what I'm talking about when they said, I know magazines are what you're supposed to call them, but most people know what I'm talking about. Do you think criminals are going to care about how many rounds you should be allowed to have in your clip, magazine, whatever terminology you prefer? Magazine is the right terminology, but whatever one. No, they're not going to care. You pull up at a gas station with your 6-shooter. Criminals are still going to have 15, 20 rounds in their guns, and you're going to be outgunned. You work every day honest, trying to be a law-abiding citizen. The unlawful people are not going to care about how many rounds you have in your firearm. They're going to do what they do. If you're on child support, no, I don't. Unknown opinion, knowing, honestly, I don't. I think the child support system is the worst thing that ever happened to humans. I totally disagree with the child support system. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think you should be responsible for who you lay down with. And if you lay down with the wrong person and you end up there, the government, again, should stay out of the way. See, what happens is that child support became a weapon towards mostly men. Not all men, but mostly men. And child support is the reason why a lot of men today don't want to be in relationships no more, because it's too dangerous and it's too risky. If you look at the lifestyle, what things have came to today, for men, it is by far more risky to get into a relationship. Why? Because if I get into a relationship with a woman and I get married, or we have a kid and it don't go well, I run the risk of losing everything I work for. And listen, I'm not a person that get into relationships or what right, wrong, and all that stuff, but I'm just making a point. If I was a man looking to get into a relationship as a young man, I probably wouldn't do it. And I'm not telling nobody what they shouldn't do. I probably wouldn't. Looking at what I see today, I would never do it. It would be extremely risky because you don't know the intent of the other person. They may say they love you today and they there with you 100%, but the minute you do something they don't like or something doesn't go that way, next thing you know that they go run to the government and weaponize the government against you. And now you're trying to fight to just maintain what little bit of maintaining your life. I think if you have a kid with somebody, just take care of the kid. And don't use the kid as a weapon to try to destroy the relationship. Because even with that, when y'all had kids, in a lot of cases, the women controlling everything. And I've seen cases after cases after cases. Yeah, I don't agree. Listen, I don't agree with the way the child support system. And I'm speaking from experience. I mean, they treated me like I was nothing. And they do that to a lot of men. Men that are trying to take care, raise their kids. When they get down, and I'm not saying every child support all over the steps, all over every country and everything, but a lot of the men, they treated them like they were nothing. You could have been the best father in the world. And when you got down to child support, by the time you left out there, you thought you was a piece of crap. So to me, I understand why a lot of men, modern day men, don't want to get in relationships with women. It's too dangerous. It's too risky. It's sad that it came to that. But that's the downside of this is why I disagree with government getting involved. This is one of those things that government got involved and it turned into this mess that we have today. This is just my opinion. And meanwhile, the child, and all of that just turns the mess up. The child gets the worst end of that stick. Honestly, none of that is beneficial to the child. The child usually the one get the worst of it. The child usually get to be the one that gets the worst of it. Because it become about money and not the child's welfare. My thing is this, and I always ask this question. I say, how many times have you went to court child support? And this is the question I ask. And the judge sat there and said this. How many judges throughout the United States have sentenced the so-called deadbeat fathers not to pay money, but to spend time? Because if child support was about spending time with your kid, then it would be about the child. Because if you made, let's say fathers that don't want to be with their kid, if you made the father spend time, guess what's going to happen in that? He's going to spend money. If you felt as though the father wasn't a good father, then the court should have stepped in and said, no, we don't want no money. We want you to spend time. So you're going to be forced to have that kid as often as possible. Right? So if you spend time with the kid, guess what happens when you spend time with the kid? You build a relationship with him. Then you're going to spend money with him. Now you're taking care of him. Why? Because you were sentenced to spend time, not money, time. And that's what child support should be, in my opinion. Not about money, not making somebody pay money. But if he's not spending time with his kid, make him spend time with his kid. Or even on the same thing with her. Make them spend time with their kid. Because if they have the kid with them, you automatically going to have to spend some money. But I never hear judges say, no, you're going to spend time with that kid. That's what you're going to do. We ain't worried about no money. I guarantee you child support system will start to go out of business. Wow. And this is my thing is just, I understand that there are circumstances where the father probably, or the father is probably mentally off, and it's not safe for the child to be around them, but that is not the normal. Most of the time, it's some crap behind it, and most of the time, the woman is using that system to control the man, and it sucks that it's that way. It shouldn't be that way. Hey, Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. Out the pit, my brother. How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. And here's the thing. If anybody look at my channel, rarely do I talk these conversations. I really try to avoid them, right? Honestly speaking. I try to avoid these type of conversations. And the reason why I tried to avoid them because even though I have strong views about stuff, I try to stay off of certain subjects. But somebody asked a question, and I figured, you know what? Let me just touch on it. And this is just my opinion. And y'all know Ron's opinion don't matter. But that's just how I see it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean that I'm right. Doesn't mean I got all the answers. This is just how I see it. And it's just like I think, this is just me personally. Again, I'm just talking from my personal perspective. I think marriage is a beautiful thing. I honestly do. I think marriage is one of the most beautiful things that can happen to a person. I really do. And you're talking about a person who suffered divorce. But I still think marriage is one of the most beautiful things that people can have. But because it's been so distorted by the bull crap and by people having the option just to get out for whatever reason they want to, it just messed up marriage. And now it's not a solid union no more. It's a business deal or whatever. I don't know. It's just that I don't like it the way it is. And I just think because people know in their head, if he don't do what I say do, then I can go use. And that's not every woman. Most women, there's a lot of women that don't think this way. And I'm not talking about those women that got husbands and they love their husband, they care about their husband, they're not looking for options, ways out, slick stuff. I'm not talking to those real real women that love and they men and they want the marriage and they ain't in that type of stuff. This is not about those women. So when I'm talking I'm talking about the women that are malicious like this, and there's a lot of them, right? And it's a lot of them, and I think that because of that reason, the institution of marriage has been so distorted by bull crap, and it sucks, man. I'm gonna tell you like this: I love when I see a married couple together, and I'm not saying that they like. I'm just gonna use it from a relationship. I'm not even gonna say married, not married. I'm just saying I love when I see people together and you can see how much they love and care about each other. Like I am at awe at that. Like I look at it like, wow, that's amazing. What's up, Aunt Like the Bug? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. When you see people that are in love with each other and they've been together for a long time and you don't see them hating each other, like, I mean, you ever watch somebody that been together for 40 years and you in the room with them and they laughing and they joking with each other and they just like, you like, God, they've been together for 40 years and then you can see the love from resonating off of them. Who wouldn't want that? Like, who wouldn't want to be with somebody 10, 15, 20 years down the road, still in love, still having fun, still making jokes, still like don't have all these hangups and stuff? That's where it went wrong at. Yes, I do too. And man, it is. All right, I'm not supposed to make fun of people. I'm not really making fun, but just I'm saying. You know how you're driving down the street, right? And I just had a thought, so y'all got to ride with me on this one. And you see two old people in the car, right? Like, you know, you almost looking at it like they probably too old to be driving. And you see them both in the car. They both got glasses on. They probably could barely see, right? But they in this car together. And clearly both of them are driving this car. Now, let's say the man is driving. But you see them too, and it's like it's an odd that you wonder, like, damn, how long they been together? How long they been living together? How long they been, and you see how they just interact with each other. You ever go into a store, a restaurant, and you see two old people sitting down and how much they care and love each other, and they helping each other get up, and you can see that they care so much for each other, no matter how bad the situation is or how sick the person is, they still there for each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people realize the value in someone really do loving you unconditionally. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm very intrigued by people that have been together for a long time and they still love each other and they still care about each other. You get what I'm saying? Like my parents was together for all my life. And just to give you a little insight, my parents argue with each other every single day. Like, kid you not, there was never a day that my parents did not argue with each other. Like, never. I don't think I've ever been around my parents where they didn't argue with each other. And it wasn't until I got older and realized that was their love language. Like, that was their love language. When my dad started to age and he was, where he was older and older, and I watched how my mom still was trying to serve him the best she could. And I remember me and my dad had a strong relationship, and I used to listen to my dad talk about how much he loved my mom. And I don't even know if he ever told my mom that, but I used to listen, and he said, man, I remember the first time I heard my dad say, man, I would die for that woman. And I was shocked because I was so used to hearing them argue with each other all the time. And I was just like, wow. Like, and many a times I've heard him say, and throughout the years as I got older, he started talking to me a little bit different. I guess he said I'm old enough to kind of understand more. But, they were together forever. And I got family members that have aunts, uncles, and stuff that were in relationships forever. So it wasn't uncommon for me to see people in relationships forever, like forever, ever. So that's why I said, for me personally, even though At one point, I was a person that suffered divorce at one point. I still believe in the institution of marriage. I think a marriage is an amazing thing. I think marriage between two people that love each other is priceless, honestly. And even though, so that's why I try not to put my personal experience into marriage. So when I talk about marriage, I talk about it from what I see, not from my personal own experience. Because if I talked about it from my own experience, I would have it would be a negative. So I don't talk. That's why I don't talk about relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm in a relationship right now. It's great. I have no problem with it. But I'm talking about, like, when you start talking about marriage and stuff like that, I don't really get into a lot of the baddest stuff, that the negative stuff that happened to me, because I don't want to feed that's what I would consider a spirit of negativity around marriage. So I try to stay off the subject. So, but for the most part, man, like, if you got somebody, and this is real talk, like, if you got somebody that you love and they showing you real love, man, don't sacrifice that for what the world had to offer. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you got somebody that you love and they love you, don't sacrifice that for what the world got to offer. Don't you think for a minute that there's something out there better, because it's more likely not. Don't convince yourself that you're going to find something better. If you got somebody that love you and you love them, stick with that. Make that work. Don't try to make somebody perfect, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. None of it. We all had all the answers. Allow people to have some flaws in your relationship. They're going to have them. Allow them to have some flaws, because they're going to have them. Don't try to put all of these unrealistic standards on a human being, because they don't have that. But if you got somebody that loves you and care about you, try to make that work. What's up? How y'all doing? God bless y'all. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. I appreciate it very, very much. I don't know how we got this far into the subject of marriage and stuff. I wasn't really planning on going that way. Y'all look at the title of the video. It says welfare, but somehow or another we ended up on this. But anyway, that's how things go here. But like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it very, very much. This is a good conversation. It really is. Ant Like the Bug. Anybody on my live, check out Ant Like the Bug's channel. Check out Joyce Art 1587. Please check out their channel. There's a few other channels that be on my live that are, my thing is subscribe to the channel, join the YouTube family. Later on today, for those that are on there on my live, me and Ant Like the Bug will be live at 6:30 today on Wednesday p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have Philly talk. And just basically having conversation about Philly, and we're gonna try to keep that show going. And we're gonna try to introduce people that are from Philly that you will never probably hear about to my channel, on a positive perspective and things that they overcome and stuff like that. So this will be our first one. This today, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you look, I already have it pre-scheduled. Hit the notification on that. That way you get notified when we get ready to get started on there. But like I said, we're gonna have Philly talk. It's gonna be interesting. Me and him's gonna start it out. And then we're gonna try to get people that we know from Philly that we might not know. So if anybody from Philadelphia and you on my chat, you on my live, and you got a good story, I don't hear no negative stuff. But if you got a story and you from Philly, we open up the floor for you at some point where you can come in and tell your story. And we'll bring you in live and we'll allow you to tell your story. We just ask that you be respectful, number one, and meaningful. Meaning, and it don't have to be a great story like, oh, I overcame, I climbed Mount Everest and this and that. It just, it could be anything. I suffered being arrested. I got locked up, and then I changed my life around, and this is what I'm doing today. I don't care if it's just I'm working a 9 to 5 at $7.50 an hour. I don't care. You that's improvement to me. So, it don't matter what the story is. But yes, it's going to be a great conversation. We're going to look to some people outside of and try to bring them in and let that, because here's the thing. The city of Philadelphia gets a whole lot of negative publicity. It does. The city of Philadelphia gets a whole lot of negative publicity. So rarely do you get to see the better end or the better people of Philadelphia. And that's my intent behind Philly Talk. And that's what like the bug intent behind Philly Talk is to showcase talent from Philly, people that have overcame from Philly, people that may have their own business, whatever it is that they've done. That's the intent behind Philly Talk, is to give people another perspective of Philadelphia other than what we're seeing right now, what they try to paint on the news media and stuff like that. Yeah, Philly has its other elements too, but that's how that goes. And appreciate y'all coming in on the live. I really do. The day wasn't one of them days where I'm hollering and screaming at people. But it was still great conversation. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. I gotta go. Make sure y'all tune in tonight at 6:30 p.m. for Philly Talk. It'll be our first premiere, be our first show. And I pray that y'all get a chance to come in and check it out. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we start the show. That way you can come in and listen to the Philly Talk. And there's a lot of other things that I am working on with this channel that's going to add in some different elements to the channel. So if you like and subscribe to the channel, you're going to see, like yesterday, we had Top to Bottom Tuesdays. So for those that are on the live still here, every Tuesday, top to bottom hair and skincare products. The products that I use on my skin, I use on my hair, and I also purchase their candles. I am a loyal customer to them. Every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m., we had a show yesterday. They'll be live on my channel every single Tuesday. So here's the thing. I'll eventually go in and I'll pre-schedule the show. So please hit the notification button. And if you got skincare issues, if you got hair care issues, or if you're just looking for great made candles, come in and check out Tuesday on Top to Bottom Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you come in on the channel, they'll be live, and you'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to interact with them. The CEO of the company, they'll definitely be in there. They'll definitely be in there. You'll be able to ask some questions about your hair care, about your skin care, and different things like that, or candles and stuff like that. And I use their products. I call one of I call it Afro Magic, but that's not the name of it. But I use their hair care products and my afro, and they keep my afro nice. I use their skincare products and they keep my skincare nice. And I'm not the only customer. There's a lot of people that are on our YouTube channel that, as a YouTube family, we all purchase a product from them. And we ask that you go follow their channel, Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. Or you follow my channel, you're interested in some hair care and skincare products. Every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m., they'll be on my channel live, and you'll be able to ask questions about the product. And the other thing is Sundays, 12:00 noon, Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday, 12:00 noon, Eastern Standard Time, we have what we call the Fracker Show, where me and 4 other brothers, Ant Like the Bug, my brother from the Fatacula Show, my brother Out the Pit, and RIP_Bam Bam. All 5 of us get together and we just act the fool. We act the fool. 12:00 noon, Sundays, Eastern Standard Time is where we do our show called The Frackers. And anything that y'all hear me, The Frackers and stuff, you can always go back to my channel and look at where it says The Frackers and just check it out. That way you get an idea of what the show is about. It's basically humorous. It's just us making fun of each other, making fun of stuff that's happening, that we hear about, telling certain stories about stuff that happened. And you're going to enjoy the show. You're going to enjoy the show. So we ask that you check out the show. So these are the things that we are working on this channel. Yes, I do my show a lot of times in the morning time. So just so y'all know that y'all will become a part of the OG network. And that's what it's going to be called, is Ron's opinion don't matter. But it's going to be under the umbrella of the OG network. So For y'all that are on my live, y'all getting the first taste of how we're going to grow this channel, and it's going to be called the OG Network. And I ask that y'all support the channel. Thank y'all very, very much. I got to get ready to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace.